Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to show a scheme to interact with your notebooks and from NotebookLM. And also, you can use the same scheme to interact with any web session you're doing with a chat box. So I have Google and Chrome on the right side. So most all the browsers nowadays have some AI you can use as a panel on the right side. So I could do this with Cloud Code or OpenAI. And the key point is that it can see what's happening to its left. It can see the code in the canvas here to some extent, and it can see the visual of what it's showing. So the way this is set up is it'll look at the menu item that I chose, architectural logic, and the city, and then it's going to comment on that. So this is telling me about the architectural logic of Kyoto. And I'm going to choose a different city, so I'll choose Barcelona. And let's see if there's architectural logic. That would be a nice choice for that too. But let's choose something different. I'll choose the daily kernel instead. And I'll just say go. And so what this should do is it's going to look at the menu item. It sees the city as Barcelona, Spain. And then it's going to comment about, it named these menu items, the daily kernel. So I suppose that's daily life in Barcelona. And so it's telling me about daily life in Barcelona. So late night tapas, and and I could drill down into these if I wanted to, because Google and Chrome is also a chat box. It's a chat box that can see, whereas the Gemini, it can't see what I'm doing, what my interactions are, but it can build it. So we've got a two-way system going here where I can use the visual chat box on the right to help out the blind one on the left. Now I've got the one on the left set up to use Pro because it's building a website, so I want it to be as smart as possible. And here I've got this one on thinking, and it actually might be better to use Pro just to get better responses. I find that sometimes it gets confused as to the context, but usually the responses are good. It's in terms of like what it's saying is good. Sometimes like, how do I say that? When I mean what it's saying, maybe I should say how it's saying it. Like the output's good, but sometimes it gets confused about like what it should be talking about. So maybe Pro would be better there, but it defaults to fast. And I definitely wouldn't use that. And this auto one is new. I haven't tried playing around with that. But thinking usually works fine. And maybe Pro would be better. But what I'm going to have again, I want to show you something. So I've got 4 colors here. And so what I did was when I started with this, I just started with a generic build a web app. So it's very easy to do. I just go to this menu item, notebooks, and choose the notebook that I want, say build a web app. And then I play around with it, and then once I get it the way that I want it to be, I can go to Google and Chrome and have it built like an industrial strength prompt based on the web app that's built. So this one has 4 color systems that I can go through, and I like all 4 of these quite well. So depending on my mood, I can choose a different one. But here on this one, I can see a couple of problems. One is this could have better contrast right here. But the other one, this is a really big one. I can't see at all what the cities are here. And then another thing I wanted to change is this menu's at the bottom. This doesn't make sense to me. So it says challenge and the skeptic's audit, the legacy debt. So what I'm going to do on for Google and Chrome, I'm going to change this to Pro, just because I want a better response here. I'm going to say two things to fix, please. So one is the menu items. Can you suggest something more fitting for a travel web app than the last section challenge? Okay, suggest something, then I'll tell you the second thing. Okay, so hopefully this responds pretty quickly. So it can see visually the problem here with the contrast, and also it knows what the menu system is. And so it should give me a better one. All right, yeah, this is a lot better. And then the second item is the poor contrast for the menus in the web app on the left side for the Explorer theme. Please give a simple prompt to Gemini, no code, to address these issues. Okay, so I told her not to give any code because Gemini, I'm using the Pro, it's very smart. I could tell it myself how to do this, but I like using the AI. AI is much better at prompting than humans are. So I can just copy and paste this and have it go. And I wanted to do this in real time just so you can see how long this takes to do. Because my expectation is that it should be able to fix this quite quickly. And it sort of depends on whether it redoes the entire app. If it does that, it'll take longer. But it can build the whole app in a few minutes. But you can see, I think it's almost done. So you can see that this was quite quick because for this particular request, it doesn't have to rebuild the entire app. This is one of many areas where AIs have gotten a lot better, because it used to be that it would take a long, long time because it would rebuild the entire app from scratch. But now not only is it a lot faster in building the apps, but also it's intelligent enough to kind of target where it's putting in the updates. So this spinning wheel should stop in any moment now, and then we should have the new version of the app, which hopefully fixes the two problems. So let me check if the Explorer one, if it fixed it. So here's the menu. So no, this didn't work. But let's see if the menu item fixed. So let's look at that. So this is a lot better. So I'm going to put beyond the postcard. I don't know what the intent here was, but that sounds interesting. So I'll say, please proceed. And I'm going to switch back to thinking, because I think that that should be good enough for this. So Gemini in Chrome, it should be looking to see that we're talking about Paris now. And it says the menu item is beyond the postcard. And it should, so it says, the demographic shift. I don't know what this is, but let's look at this one. It says, while Hausman's growth suggests monumental permanence, the city is burdened by a legacy debt in subterranean hardware. A currently 19th century sewer and metro network is struggling to process the 20th century density, creating a constant state of logical friction hidden beneath the limestone facades. Okay, so this is a bit difficult to understand, but what it's getting at is Haussmann is the architect of the beautiful. This goes back to the 19th century and Napoleon III. When you think of Paris, it's the beautiful buildings that you have. And then there were problems with the fact that the city was built layer upon layer. And so they would dig out limestone in order to make buildings. But when they dug the limestone, it created holes in the city. And so that caused the city to sink. Also to sink, stink if it interacted with the sewer. But I know about this because I've played around with it a bit. But let's say, like, you see this, and this is kind of cryptic. You can just say, can you explain bullet point 2 more simply? And we'll see what it says here. Anyway, the concept here is that we've got a way of interacting, and I can improve the app. I won't do this again just to keep the size, the length of the video from being too long, but I can address this, the fact that the menu didn't work by just telling it, hey, the contrast, the bad contrast is still there. Can you write another prompt for it to fix the menu system? Give it to Gemini and wait another probably about 2 minutes, and then that would fix it. So you can see that this is a nice way of incrementally working with this. This is a whole system you have. You can have the web app improve. You can have how you want Gemini and Chrome to interact with the web app, tailor it to just the way that you want. Get a nice system here of interacting with your notebooks. It's very quick. If I went here and had to choose a new notebook, unfortunately, that would cause us to start a new session. But in the new session, I can just make sure I put it on Canvas and give it the same prompt that I used. Actually, I can improve the prompt once I fix the problem with that Explorer theme. This one with the menu, not working. That's this one here. So once I fix this, then I can have Gemini and Chrome fix the prompt that I have, and then use that new prompt, and the whole thing is very quick. It would take less than 5 minutes for me to open a new session, connect to whatever notebook I want, give it the new improved prompt, and then have the web app. And then I just have a really nice way that I can interact with my notebook in NotebookLM. And also the same system you can use with any AI, just like whatever you're doing with the AI, you can open up the panel on the right. Because if you're working with anything in Canvas, whether it be documents or a web app or whatever you're doing, then Gemini can't see what's happening there, but Google and Chrome can. So that's a nice way that you can augment the chat experience. So these are the two things I wanted to share in this app. One way was using the AI in the panel to augment the chat experience, and the other is how you can interact with your notebooks from NotebookLM, build a web app very easily and quickly with Gemini, and then use Gemini and Chrome to improve the web app that you have. Well, I hope you found that interesting, and thanks for watching. Until next time.